Ladies and gentlemen, in a society divided by black and white arguments, this show is here to help you explore the world of gray. All right, guys, my name is Colin for the World of Gray podcast. I have a couple Elon Musk presidential election related topics to discuss. The first one being that Donald Trump is going to create a position for Elon Musk in government if he gets in, not in the cabinet, as he said. So I was just looking at this article from Newsweek.com talking about an interview Donald Trump did on Fox, stating that he needed to slim the fat of government. There's incredible fat in government that needs to be cut. And Elon Musk is going to be the man to do it. He is going to create a new position for Elon Musk. He is going to be the Secretary of Cost Cutting. And Elon Musk was recently in an interview and he talked about this, saying that there's over 200 government agencies and some people don't even know what some of these agencies are. So he's going to slim the fat just because you don't know what those agencies do, regardless of whether or not they're necessary, I guess. And, you know, why does this matter? And why is Elon Musk all of a sudden endorsing Donald Trump? The more I look into Elon Musk and kind of his past, he does seem to really like the attention. And my theory is, now that he's the richest man in the world, really the only thing left is power. He's got all the money. Now he can really find some power to hold on to with Trump. He has billions of dollars in government grants, and he has government regulatory agencies that are overlooking Tesla. And if he can have some control over that, maybe cutting out the ones that are really kind of breathing down his neck, that could go a long way for his companies and him having more power and say over what his companies can and cannot do. And let's remember here, this is the guy who in 2022 bought Twitter as the free speech guy. He was going to save the world from free speech and save Twitter so it could become the town hall of the world. And he was just going to let everybody talk about everything with no restrictions, because that's everybody's right as an American. And that's how freedom of speech is supposed to work. Well, turns out that Elon Musk, not so much of a fan of free speech if you're criticizing him. So I have two articles here. One is from CNN, and this one's from 2022, December 16th. So this is really shortly after he bought Twitter. I believe he bought Twitter in October 2022. He banned several prominent journalists from Twitter, calling into question his commitment to free speech. So that's the article's headline. He banned accounts from journalists from CNN, so Donnie O'Sullivan, New York Times, Ryan Mack, Washington Post, a progressive independent journalist, Aaron Rupar, was also banned. And when asked about why he banned all these journalists, he said that there was a new doxing policy that Twitter had put in, and that those journalists had given out Elon Musk's real-time location, basically saying that they were trying to get him assassinated. Then there's another article here from Vanity Fair. And this one's more recent. Elon Musk's Twitter is still banning journalists for simply doing their jobs. Basically just talking about how Elon Musk vowed to be the savior of free speech, and he is still banning journalists from Twitter for just doing their job. So there was a reporter, Dale Cameron, was banned for reporting on the guy who hacked and targeted Matt Walsh, who's a far-right commentator, if you ever listen to him. he's he sensationalizes the trans argument, basically his entire platform. He's very condescending, very smug individual. Not a big fan of things like that. There's no real nuance to what he talks about. So this is just really interesting. I hand it to Elon Musk. He's done a lot of things in his career. I think his intention to see how far humans as a species can evolve as a collective, especially when it comes to technology, is fascinating to watch. I think Neuralink is a both scary and fascinating idea. Obviously, his work with Tesla, his ability to reduce the cost of building rockets, which is why he has all the government grants, government contracts. But yeah, I mean, saying you're a free speech guy, not really being a free speech guy. He's not only banning people from Twitter, he's also suing people for criticizing him. So suing journalists just for kind of being critical of his opinions and philosophies. And teaming up with Trump is just great for him. Trump really likes Elon. He's going to listen to Elon. Elon's way smarter than him. So, Trump can't really argue anything that Elon says because he's not bright enough to. So this could be really good for Elon and Tesla. There's one last article I do want to share here, and this was something I saw in a deep dive that another content creator had out there on Elon Musk's life. He did some really good ones on Donald Trump and Kamala Harris as well. I can try to post it somewhere in the descriptions. In this article, it's talking about how Elon Musk had put out a tweet about a football game. And the same day, or within around the same time, Joe Biden had put out a tweet that I think it said, "Go Eagles." And the current president of the United States, Joe Biden, his tweet performed better with engagement than Elon Musk's did. And the next week, Elon Musk got 80 of his engineers to rewrite the algorithm, change the algorithm to favor his tweets so he would get more engagement and just more eyeballs on whatever he puts out. And then this article I was reading, which I'll put up here, has said that since he's endorsed Trump, although it's hard for them now to really see the transparency in the data, it does seem like since he started endorsing Trump, that his engagement and the traffic he gets with his tweets has algorithmically increased since he's endorsed Trump. The reason why they're saying it's hard to really know is because Twitter no longer has transparency in the things they do. One thing Twitter used to do before Elon Musk took over is anytime they would ban somebody from Twitter, there was a third party that would get the data from Twitter and they would put up why these people were banned for transparency reasons, because governments could request things to be taken down if they thought that it was a risk to the safety of the public, or maybe if they just didn't like it or whatever. But anytime stuff got taken down or people got banned, there was this transparency website that you could go to, and Elon Musk's Twitter is no longer giving that information to this company. So I find that very interesting as well. And just one final point here. The big premise for Elon Musk buying Twitter was that he was saying that Twitter, because it was monitored in San Diego, I believe, somewhere that was very politically left, just region-wise, in Silicon Valley, that the moderators were very biased towards left-wing media and left-wing reporters, and were unproportionately blocking or making right-wing policy or politicians and content underperform. And they actually did a study on this in 2021 before Elon Musk took over Twitter. I can pull that up here. It was from The Guardian, I believe. And Twitter actually admitted that there was a bias in the algorithm, but it was for right-wing politicians and news outlets. So when they actually looked through the data, in every major country except for Germany, I believe. Oh, it was 7 countries that they looked at. And in those 7 countries, everyone but Germany all skewed to the right. And there was a formula they used for this. So the percentages don't 100% make sense to me because they don't go right to like 100%. They kind of go way over. But it just kind of shows the differences in each country of how much of a bias there was on each side. And Canada actually had the biggest swing in the biasy, where 43% engagement went to liberals, and then 167 engagement leaned towards conservative. I'm not sure how you get the 167 and 43%, but just seeing that discrepancy and that kind of gap is interesting. And it's just an interesting point to a larger point of we're now living in this world where we're in the post-truth era. So what the actual facts are don't matter, because I kind of believed Musk when he was spouting this off. I'm not saying I thought that he was going to save free speech. I obviously believe in free speech. I don't think people should be censored unless they're actually going to cause harm to human beings. But this is something that just was the foundation for all the rhetoric of how the country is, doomed if the left stay in power, because the left hates free speech, when in reality, not only was the premise itself just completely false, but the actual intentions of the person is just not true, or disingenuous at the very least, because Elon Musk is banning people and suing people. So it's just interesting when we're going through these election cycles, when you're watching things that don't seem as much of a part of the dog and pony show that is an election and is politics. So, maybe CNN interviewing Donald Trump. Like, even I'll say that if you have CNN interviewing Donald Trump, obviously they're going to play gotcha. They're going to do some disingenuous things to make Trump look as bad as possible. But it's an interesting concept or kind of thought experiment for yourself is, are there more subtle, disingenuous manipulations happening from people that have vested interests in an outcome of a large election like this that we may not think of because the package is calmer or less formal, like a Joe Rogan podcast, like an Elon Musk talking to everyone like, I'm not a politician, and, it seems like they're against free speech, and you know what I'm going to do for the people? I'm going to save Twitter and spend my hard-earned money so that I can save free speech, when really he's just trying to push an agenda and grasp some sort of power. And I'll end this video with probably the most damning for me, just as somebody interested in human behavior, and I'll look at certain human behavior and go, interesting. And it's a bit of an assumption, but now that I'm in this mindset of, okay, well, maybe Musk just really wants to be in the spotlight, have the attention, have some power, and really want people looking at him like he's the savior, is this clip of Elon Musk at the final Trump rally in New York City at Madison Square Garden, of where he gets in front of the people and they're all cheering for him, and he just has this tribal energy release of like, yeah, this is what I fucking want, is just, cringy, sure, but just makes me a little worried about the duo that will be Donald Trump and Elon Musk. But look, it's important for all of us to make our own opinions up and not parrot the opinions of the things that we're seeing from our biased algorithm. So I really encourage everybody to try to break free of the algorithm biasy and try to do whatever you can to find information from both sides and come back and join us on this live stream and put it in the comments and argue with us and share your opposite views, and let's delve into it together, because we really are living in a society that is divided by black and white arguments. And it's my hope with this show that all of us together can come together to explore the world of gray. Thank you all for watching. If you don't mind, like and subscribe to this video on YouTube. Join me on November 5th, Tuesday, and we'll live stream and we'll go over all my predictions, all of the possible outcomes, and maybe we'll have a drink or two together because I think we'll need it. All right.